This an extension to Beirut, Lebanon, Lebanon, based off the last video, but this one is just indicating as far as it's indicating shortages since the explosion. As you see right here, an article by Forbes, and it is, I guess, it's breaking news. 300,000 made homeless by Beirut explosion. Catastrophic food shortages predicted. I mean, yeah, they were gonna have shortages regardless. I mean, you got to look at what's happening in China, and what's happening here. I don't know how big they are as far as like exporting and stuff like that, but as far as their own city, they're gonna be, starving. They're gonna be, in a very bad situation. Emergency workers and residents in Beirut, Lebanon's capital city, are searching for survivors after Tuesday's massive explosion that killed at least 100 and wounded thousands more. Amid the city's struggles with the main distraction, coronavirus, its fragile political system, and high unemployment rate. Let's see. And I guess right there, as you see right there, is the blast or the aftermath. But let's see. And this is what I read last time about it. About I guess about it. The explosion happening because of having a lot of tons of ammonium nitrate. But let's see. The blast, which Lebanese officials say was caused by an explosion of 2,700 tons of ammonium nitrate being held at a shipping port, leveled entire sections of the city. At least 100 have been reported dead, according to George Katani, Secretary General of the Lebanese Red Cross, while the New York Times reported that other officials are expecting the death toll to rise as victims remain trapped in rubble and debris. Let's see. Hospitals are overwhelmed as over 4,000 injured residents sought help. And I'm just going to go down to here. But because it's showing right here that, because they have 4 hospitals sustained substantial damage, they weren't able to bring in patients. Let's see. The explosion also knocked out electricity in the city, and it limited emergency work. Okay, let's see. All right, as you see right there, that's the before and after pictures, you know, of that area that had that explosion. And that's another one right there. Let's see. They say what we don't know. Why such a large amount of ammonium nitrate was allowed to be stored at the shipping port, and what set off Tuesday's explosion? Well, what set it off was the ammonium nitrate being there for long periods of time, I believe. That's just my opinion. And it probably was just such a large stack, a large amount that it triggered. Well, it can't trigger anything on its own. Someone had to do it, personally, or they had to do it themselves in order to trigger it, because it's gonna act in a way to where it becomes like a real dense, like oxygen, to a sense, or it acts as a real dense oxygen or something like that. But somebody has to ignite it, cause some type of flame or combustion or something. So maybe it was an inside job, or however you look at it. But this world is basically, I say, for the next remaining months, you're gonna have situations where you're gonna have to, try to get, some food and stuff, and try to get your spirit up first. But they about gonna have food shortages and stuff like that. Because when I was talking about China and how they're having a bunch of floods and they're having a bunch of rain, and the rain is hitting them damaged dams at a heavy rate. And if those dams explode or whatever, that's going to destroy probably a large part of the agriculture in China, and that's going to destroy a lot of what we have going on too. On top of the fact that in America they also are getting rid of some of the farmlands and closing some of the farmlands also. But let's see, big numbers: 300,000 and 3 billion. Beirut Governor Moussa Abad told agency France Presse that at least 300,000 residents have been made homeless as a result of the explosion, and damage to the city is tallied so far at 3 billion. Lebanon's director of Islamic Relief, Idali Ali, told the BBC that catastrophic shortages of food are expected over the next 2 months. And here go another part, crucial quote: "I will not rest until we find the person responsible for what happened. I told him accountable and oppose the most severe penalties," Diab told reporters. Well, we know this world, we know these governments, for the most part, are really just one government. Like, they're all really working in a one world way of things, and all of this stuff is being scripted to a degree of kind of like how they want it to be. I don't know if they want to push it out any faster, but a lot of people is gonna suffer over this. And if you ain't got your mind right and you ain't got your spirit right, you ain't gonna know exactly what's happening out here. So it would behoove you to just, get all that right and make sure you know what's going on. But yeah, try to get some food as quickly as you can. It ain't got to be nothing super healthy, but you know how it go. You get if you have to get stuff like ramen noodles or whatever, you get those ramen noodles, but you keep some vitamins, to give you the nutrients that you're not gonna get with the intake of crap like ramen noodles. But you get it. It's best to eat something than to be out here literally not having nothing, starving and stuff like that. Let's see. But yeah, that was just a backdrop. A second video because yeah, a lot of people are getting, like this whole world, like I said, is becoming destroyed. This whole world is getting worked in a negative, in a way to where, a lot of people just gonna get hurt in the process. But that's all I got for this. Peace. Yep, this is extension to the whole food shortage thing. Regarding we were just looking at Lebanese, but this is just combining when you look at the U.S. farmers also in combination with what you see happening over there in China, and just in general. As you see, it's an old clip, April 15th, 2020, from The Hill. But as you see right here at the top of my screen, it's basically talking about U.S. farmers set to lose $20 billion in income in 2020. And as I scroll down, it says U.S. farmers will lose an estimated $20 billion this year as a result of the COVID or coronavirus pandemic, according to the report from the Food and Agriculture Policy Research Institute at the University of Missouri. And like I've been saying, like I've been talking about with China, because if China lose out on a lot of their agriculture, we're gonna lose out on a lot of our agriculture, and it's gonna be a total mess. It's gonna be a total mess. But yeah, it's gonna be, I don't know. I already explained like the whole food shortage thing. Just go on and try to get as much food as you possibly can. I mean, who knows exactly when it will last, but it's best to have it To have a lot of food and not need it than to need the food and not have it at all. And food it's of course essential. It's what keep you alive, basically. Um, let's see. Let me see. We're looking at a situation with a lot sharper or very big decline in farm income relative to what had been expected. From Patrick Westoff, director of the Food and Agricultural Policy Institute. It's a much tougher time for farmers than we would have guessed a few months ago. Let's see. Okay, they say in January it was assumed a 2.8% increase in overall consumption, but that was 2019, which is since then it has decreased 2.2%. Yeah, man. But that's 2020. That's showing you that. And let's see. I don't know what's the date on this. That's March, right there. This is July 6th. This is pretty recent. July, August. Farm progress. Let's see. They talking about some of the farm shows won't happen because, I guess, because of the conditions. Basically, because of COVID-19. Yeah, that's that. But they're not really showing what I want to see. But they're not gonna really tell you about the shortages that's expected to happen until it's damn near immediate. That way you can panic and not know what to do. But we already, know what to do as of right now. To try to get some food, as much food as we possibly can. It ain't got to be the most expensive, but it could be something that could do for the time being. And then, see, it's best to have the healthier foods. But the thing about the healthier foods, not to be funny, but they don't last as much as this fake GMO food. As much as I don't like the GMO foods, they last a lot longer, which could help in this particular situation. That's the only time we probably should be eating stuff like that. It's when we have to deal with situations like this, which puts us at an immediate need, for something, and then like drinking like that type of water, which could last probably a year, maybe over a year, depending on the situation. But that's the only time we should be stacking up on that type of stuff. Let's see, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that's most likely what I'm finna show right here. Let's see. Oops. Let me see if I can find it on some news or something. Oh, here we go. More farmers declare bankruptcy. This is Wall Street Journal. More farmers declare bankruptcy despite record levels of federal aid. Coronavirus pandemic adds strain to agriculture economy already reeling from trade fights, commodity glut. And that's what I should have brought. I didn't put it in combination. I mean, I know it, but I forgot to tell you all. When you add the COVID slash coronavirus on top of the food shortages from China and the food shortages from America, it is going to be hell for a lot of people. It's going to be hell for a lot of people, like, period. Like, it's going to be a natural disaster type thing. But this whole thing is a spiritual war. So you got to understand that this is not a physical thing that they're doing with you. They're mentally playing with you. So it's up to you to be able to be ready and be proactive instead of being reactive to what they say do. That way you would know absolutely what's up right off the bat. I'm going to continue to reading this. More U.S. farmers are filing for bankruptcy as federal payments projected to reach record levels this year fall short of compensating the coronavirus pandemic and a year-long slump in the agricultural economy. About 580 farmers filed for Chapter 12 bankruptcy protection in the 12-month period ended June 30th, according to federal data. That was 8% more than a year earlier, though bankruptcy slowed slightly in the first half of 2020, partly because of an infusion of federal aid and hurdles to filing during the pandemic, according to agricultural economists and attorneys. The pandemic has pressured prices for many commodities, squeezing farmers who raise crops and livestock, meaning like cows, chickens, and all that crap, and prolonging a 6-year downturn in the farm belt. And as you look at this screen, here are the farming bankruptcies. 2020 being sky high, 2019 not too far off, but it has been rising since the 2018 year. So there's your proof right here. But yeah, man, that's it. Just go out, try to get as much as you can before they tell you can't get any food or they try to limit you, because it's coming to that point. So everybody, just get ready, get yourself right. But that's all I got for this topic. Peace.